What's the best memory of 50 Cent? Best memory of 50 Cent? Ever since I met 50 Cent, he's always been stand-up and probably the most truthful person I've ever met.
Best memory of 50 Cent?
Best memory of 50 Cent? Ever since I met 50 Cent, he's always been stand-up and probably the most truthful person I've ever met.
According to sources, 50 was informed of the negotiations and found out through third-party whispers. He immediately took to social media with cryptic posts saying, "Loyalty don't live in everybody's heart, but snakes always show their face." The deal reportedly gives Ross full creative control over future BMF projects, documentaries, and merchandising, leaving 50 completely boxed out a brand he helped revive. What's worse, Ross and 50's long-standing feud adds serious fuel to the fire. Fans are stunned, questioning how Big Meech, from behind bars, could authorize such a move without involving the man who kept his name alive.
Right, they don't even understand that you know, the way we grew up, you're supposed to spend no more than 10 or 20% of what you make. You know what I'm saying?
Now, with 50 Cent ready to retaliate and Rick Ross celebrating his latest power move, this beef has gone from personal to all-out war. And the next chapter in the BMF saga might unfold in courtrooms and diss tracks. Big Meech has officially responded to 50 Cent with direct accusations, claiming that 50 has been manipulating Lil Meech and turning him against his own family. According to multiple reports, Meech believes this influence has created serious emotional and professional division within the Flenory family. As tensions rise, it's becoming increasingly clear that this dispute is far from resolved.
I'm still trying to find myself. My dad was calling me from jail every day. He was like, "Man, what you gonna do?" Like, shit, I don't know. I always knew I wanted to be my own person. It's just hard, to live up to my dad's name. And he called me one day, he's like, "Man, they looking at Terrence Howard and Nipsey Hussle. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to play me, but you gotta go to acting class so you can get ready." So I met 50. 50 put me in acting classes for 2 years in LA. Invested in me, paid for the acting class. I had to go every day, two times a day, 5 days a week. In the morning, in the afternoon, come back home, study again, do the same thing the next day.
Wow, and a ball player.
Yeah, but I put in the work though, and it showed me that 50 couldn't get me the job. I had to get myself the job. My dad couldn't get me the job. They would have hired somebody else that already had acting experience. I had no experience, so I was coming.
Following Big Meech's release from prison and his recent public collaboration with Rick Ross, the long-standing relationship between Meech and 50 Cent appears to have completely deteriorated. That single move was enough to shake the foundation of their business dynamic and signal a deep rift. Caught in the crossfire is Lil Meech, who initially appeared firmly aligned with 50 Cent, showing unwavering loyalty through public gestures and interviews. However, recent developments suggest a shift. Lil Meech is now standing beside his father and Rick Ross, indicating a significant change in allegiance that may shape the future of BMF's legacy in entertainment. The turning point. 50 Cent reportedly criticized Big Meech's parenting, accusing him of enabling unhealthy behavior in his son, including alleged substance use and recklessness. Lil Meech once bragged, "I got Richard Millie's Chrome Hearts jeans, 10,000. I buy some Chrome Hogs for 10,000. I might wear them shits for a month, bro." In response, insiders claim Big Meech and Lil Meech are working on a counter-strategy, joining forces with Floyd Mayweather and Rick Ross to launch their own version of the BMF series. This move may be designed to directly compete with 50 Cent's existing show, signaling an all-out media battle. However, entertainment insiders caution that despite the ambition behind the project, matching the impact and reach of 50's production may prove far more challenging than anticipated. Speculation is mounting that Big Meech and his son may be strategically manipulated by major industry players, particularly Floyd Mayweather and Rick Ross, whose own financial goals could come at the expense of the Flenory legacy. With questions swirling about loyalty, control, and exploitation, the spotlight shifts to what Big Meech intends to do next in this escalating feud.
Lil Meech got Richard Millie's Chrome Heart jeans, 10,000. I buy some Chrome Hearts for 10,000. I might wear them shits for a month, bro.
Big Meech has made it clear he's drawing a firm line. Reports indicate he's refusing to let 50 Cent continue leveraging his name and image for profit. Following 50 Cent's public criticism of Meech's parenting, The Black Mafia family leader appeared ready to fight back, especially after 50 severed ties with Lil Meech and hinted that the BMF series could be approaching its end. That moment marked a turning point. Tension surged, and Lil Meech reportedly attempted to salvage the relationship. In private communication, he allegedly clarified that the viral photo of his father with Rick Ross, which sparked this entire fallout, was purely a business interaction. According to leaked messages, Lil Meech explained that Ross had offered financial assistance to help Big Meech cover expenses while awaiting the next season of BMF production. I'm confused by all this online stuff. You know me personally. Lil Meech reportedly stated in a message to 50 Cent.
Have some.
He was able to do it because, financially, I was supporting the idea, and I believe he could do it. He had moved to California and was working with acting coaches, and his dad didn't know.
Despite the olive branch, 50 Cent reportedly remained unmoved. He dismissed the explanation and instead cryptically asked what the upcoming season would even entail, signaling that Lil Meech's role in the BMF project was effectively over to INA's sharp follow-up. 50 Cent took to social media, mocking Lil Meech's future by implying he might next appear on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, a jab that further emphasized a widening rift and reinforced how deeply fractured their once-close bond had become. The conflict has taken a sharp personal turn. 50 Cent, intensify his efforts, announced he would contact Mona Scott, suggesting Lil Meech might soon find himself on Love and Hip Hop before launching another wave of target attacks. This time, he shifted his focus back to Big Meech and Rick Ross, questioning their abilities as mentors and fathers. He resurfaced an old video allegedly showing Lil Meech and Ross's daughter, Toy Roberts, together. The clip was used to frame both Ross and Meech as examples of failed guidance, implying their influence had led the younger generation down the wrong path. It wasn't a subtle move. It was a calculated, cutting effort to undermine their credibility and legacy.
Charged me $200,000 just for this Cuban. This Cuban is like 1,100 grams. It's chunky, real big. I really can't have this on for longer than 3 or 4 hours. My neck started hurting. You might find a regular Cuban for 50 or for 100 maybe, but it's 200 just for a kilo.
What's the pendant cost?
3, just for the pendant. Right here, this is Antarctica. It's the big boy. This Christine called it Antarctica. It's the chandelier. But I might have seen DJ Khaled with this on. It's that big boy,
How much is it worth?
$2 million.
50's post struck a nerve, going far beyond industry jabs or social media spats. These were direct challenges to their personal character, positioning them as unfit role models. As Big Meech reportedly refuses to remain silent, the situation is escalating rapidly, signaling that the feud may just be getting started. In a continuation of his critique, 50 Cent took aim at Rick Ross' past inaction during Big Meech's incarceration. He questioned why Ross, now aligning himself with Meech, had failed to offer support when it actually mattered. According to 50, Ross remained silent when Big Meech and the Flenory family needed help the most. One of 50's posts read like a direct accusation. Why didn't Ross send Meech to acting school? Where were all your street associates when it came to real help? He mocked the image of Ross as a so-called Black Pablo Escobar, accusing him of enabling Meech's downfall through poor decisions and misplaced ambition. Then came the stark reminder. 50 Cent claimed responsibility for holding the Flenory family together during Meech's incarceration. He argued that while others posed for pictures and played characters, he was the one creating actual career opportunities and maintaining public relevance for the BMF brand in Meech's absence. What started as a simmering dispute quickly escalated into a full-blown feud. 50 Cent didn't hold back, going public with claims that Lil Meech had already burned to the millions he earned from starring in the BMF series. I helped your family make over $5 million in legitimate money, 50 declared. Now that it's all gone, that's not on me. The comment immediately sent shockwaves through fans and industry circles alike. Supporters were divided. Some criticized 50 Cent for cutting ties so abruptly over what seemed like a simple business photo with Rick Ross. Others defended his reaction, pointing out that 50 had invested years of time, effort, and credibility to elevate the Flenory family name, helping it transition from street lore to a polished television narrative. Beyond fan reaction, notable voices in the industry began to weigh in. One of the most vocal was Boozy, who made headlines with his take on the situation. Boosie expressed disappointment in how Lil Meech handled the falling out, particularly referencing the text message he sent to 50 Cent. Boosie argued that Lil Meech's tone was far too polite, especially considering the public shots 50 took at his father, Big Meech. In Boosie's view, any respectful tone should have been abandoned the moment personal family matters were dragged into the spotlight. He suggested that had it been him, his response would have been much more aggressive, regardless of business ties or career obligations. Unsurprisingly, 50 Cent wasn't going to let Boosie's critique slide. In response, he doubled down, sharing a video clip from Boosie's interview along with a bold caption. "I did more for Meech than anyone in his life. That's why he responded like that." The post made it clear that 50 believed his influence and support were unmatched. He went even further, suggesting that if Lil Meech ever found himself behind bars, he wouldn't be turning to Boosie or even Big Meech for help. He'd be calling 50 Cent. That statement added another layer to an already tense public fallout, underscoring just how much 50 believed his role in Lil Meech's rise has been undervalued. Tensions took a more serious turn when startling new details emerged from behind the scenes. Actor Russell Hornsby reportedly witnessed Lil Meech appearing visibly intoxicated while on set. According to 50 Cent, the situation escalated when Meech began vomiting during a weapons training exercise, prompting immediate concern from production staff. When questioned, Meech allegedly confessed that he had been using whippets, a recreational inhalant found in common compressed air canisters. The revelation was alarming enough that 50 Cent said he had to investigate what whippets were himself, discovering that the substance in question was often abused for its short-lived high. The reference also carried a layer of irony, subtly tying back to scenes from 50 Cent's own hit show Power, which frequently explores themes of addiction and consequences. Shortly after the incident, Lil Meech posted a cryptic image on Instagram, fueling further speculation about his mindset and the fractured alliances now emerging around him. The chessboard of relationships within the BMF universe appeared to be wide open, and positions were shifting rapidly. But amid the fallout, a new legal obstacle surfaced, one that could completely derail Rick Ross's rumored plans for a BMF film. Despite any alliances Ross may forge with the Flannery family, he would still require official approval from 50 Cent to move forward. That's because 50 retains full control over the television and film rights to the BMF franchise, making any independent production without his consent virtually impossible. According to insiders, 50 Cent is not backing down despite the mounting family drama. His G-Unit film and television division is pressing forward aggressively, with one of its next projects already confirmed, a biopic centered on Tammy Cowens, a key figure involved in the business side of BMF operations. This strategic move suggests that 50's focus remains firmly on expanding the narrative universe. Meanwhile, criticism continues to swirl around Lil Meech. Many within the entertainment community argue that he has squandered a pivotal opportunity, one that offered not just mainstream visibility, but also the chance to add emotional complexity to a true crime empire already rich in lore. With his alleged finances depleted and long-term planning absent, the spotlight has shifted once again, this time casting a shadow on what could have been a defining legacy. Lil Meech is now aligned with figures long known to be at odds with 50 Cent. This unexpected pivot is raising serious questions across the industry. What looks like a simple shift in alliances may actually be part of a larger strategy rooted in timing, loyalty, and calculated business maneuvers. Reports suggest that Big Meech and Lil Meech could be teaming up with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather on a rival BMF film project. On paper, the idea sounds bold and visionary. But behind the scenes, the legal landscape tells a different story. The rights to Big Meech's life story are no longer under his control, meaning any new adaptation would require proper licensing or risk significant legal pushback. This raises critical questions. Would Ross and Mayweather need to buy the rights back? Would their vision for the BMF brand diverge completely from the established television universe that 50 Cent has spent years building? And perhaps most importantly, is this entire development a business decision or a retaliatory move dressed in ambition? Industry observers are watching closely as this story unfolds. While headlines focus on personal drama and fractured relationships, the outcome will ultimately be determined by contracts, rights ownership, and strategic positioning. The BMF legacy now hangs in the balance of legal negotiations and power plays. So what's your take? Did 50 Cent have a legitimate reason to question Big Meech's influence over his son? Is this new partnership with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather a bold business evolution, or a targeted response dressed in ambition? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss the next twist in this story. Tap the next video to keep watching.